Okay, so I just finished recording um the video on Syrian diet part two, things you're not supposed to eat. If you haven't seen that, please check it out. So, this is Master Musa the Pharaoh, of course, also known as name given by nature, Hemra, Aishatem. So let me drop something down on y'all heads. Let me like some real shit. Let me let it rain for a second. I'm gonna let it rain. I'm gonna hydrate everybody, anybody watching this. First off, disclaimer: I'm not necessarily saying that it's wrong to be successful. It's just what is your definition of being successful? Just like how someone can say, I want to be rich. Well, what is your definition of being rich or enriched or wealth? So you have people that their idea of success is extremely like either highly egotistical or unrealistic. Like they want to be able to like, you know, moonwalk moonwalk on the clouds or some shit. Like if you ask them what they want to do, I want to moonwalk on the clouds. Now, if you ask me, if I was somebody that wanted to moonwalk on the clouds and say some shit, I would break it down of how like I know what I'm talking about if I'm gonna say it, even if you're not aware of it or not. So I'll break it down, the whole chemistry and kinetics of how I'm gonna do that. But usually people just caught up in their own imagination is what I'm trying to say. So you can't trust people like that because they're still caught up in their imagination. The imagination that, without going further into that, they don't own. They think that is them. They think that they're reflecting what they're thinking, what's them. They think their thoughts is theirs, but they're just product of circumstance. To say at the very least, and just simple enough, they are products of circumstance. They are products of their environment. They haven't matured enough and understand how they can get to a point in that they will be beneficial to the environment around them or the transitional process that is being taking place in the environment around them, okay, in society. So their mindset is just to like, be a boss, but because they don't want to be enslaved. But in reality, a lot of people want to be bosses, but you're just becoming a slave master. So you're just ready for a new disaster. So you're just going to keep the issues going on. So when I say do not trust people that want to be successful, you got to really question people and their ideas of success because everybody's ideas of success is different. Now, when I look in at the media, I'm pretty sure that the media will influence, a negative notion of the idea of success or something that's just not real. So usually, generally speaking, now this word of success as a collective can be automatically associated with like just the imagination or ego. You gotta understand that I made a video about this too, that America is nothing more than just like a place of experience that you could just experience, and people just settled here, and people just you know made a life here, but it's not really about that type of perspective. That's why there's some people that come to America that own business over here because this is just where it's at for that. America is nothing more than just like a place for dreams and just having fun and things like that. To the point that maybe you can conclude it's getting too bad. It's getting bad, and people not necessarily having fun here, are they? A lot of people is depressed, and it's been like that for a while. But generally speaking, that's how it started off at. So a lot of people they want to be successful, because maybe they grew up in poverty or they grew up in a bad environment and they don't want that for their family, or they want to get their mother or any of their family out of that such scenario. The concept here though is that they are basically pawns or like subservience, whatever you want to say, slaves to like an expression that is of the will of someone that's like a man. Like it's basically, like the concept American dream. You're just coming in here, or you was born here, and you're just helping influence, keeping the system going, keeping the fun going, even if you're participating in it or not. There's nothing really that you're working on here when you work that generates and benefits you. So if you are gonna work, and this is where I stand in my perspective, you might as well work for something that you enjoy doing and that you can find comfort in. And when it comes to things spiritual, which is really the purpose of this life, you can approach that. And when it's time to now, you can use your leisure time, and it's time to have fun or just relax. You got something waiting for you there. You don't have to stress and like work your whole life. People gotta understand that you working these 9 to 5 jobs, even if you went to college, you are simply just helping influence something that doesn't go past the physical at all. To the point that from a spiritual perspective, please check out my video of the truth of religion. It starts to look like that from things in an actual spiritual perspective. Okay, like it's just a giant matrix. It's nothing real there. But at the same time, our life is real and precious. Our time is precious. So, what I'm saying now, success has to be defined from a spiritual, culture like perspective. Like someone has to want something beneficial not only to them and then so their family and then extended family and or extended family, but then it circulates back to reality and then it comes back to them. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's like you sending out energy and it benefits you and it benefits your family and it benefits your children and then it benefits the world and then it comes back to you. And this is also the same concept on an emotional level to the point that it multiplies itself. It multiplies itself and then it fractalizes itself. Look up the word fractal and then watch my video on the fractal of disfigurement. So you get a lot of juice. Okay? That's all I gotta say. That's why you don't trust people that want to be successful. They're gonna use you also. Because they exist in a dreamland. They're gonna both use you and then get to a certain point, and because they're not realistic, fall down hard. This is not something that's an opinion. This is stuff that's happened. I don't want to relate to that, and it's not these people's fault, but it's not until like a real motherfucker like me basically make it clear that you are just a product of like your environment. You know what I'm saying? You're just a product of like, where you've been around from. But now that truth is out there, you need to adjust because it's time for the sake of survival. It's time for the sake of, renewal. You know what I'm saying? To like not be enslaved anymore because it's not going to help you. When you're enslaved, the people that enslaved you don't care for you. They don't care for you. You're just a number to them. And like, if you got like $1,000,000, right? You going to care if you lose a couple $5? No, you're not. All right, ta-da. I'm out of here. A tap later.